People aren't expecting me probably to even be here, so why don't you see on the YouTube and see if it's actually up and running? I'll go to the YouTube channel and see if it's actually running. Our channel. Our channel. Yeah. I put it up live. Nobody's here. But maybe everybody figured I gave up and decided not to come back. Content. Okay, we're there. Is it working, Lisa Anna? I hope so. It's been a crazy evening. It hadn't been working so far, but maybe it will stay working. What had been happening is it would work for a while, then it would just totally crash. And I've been working on my internet speed stuff here, and I've been having internet speed problems. They did not give up. I don't know, I think it's working. Maybe my internet's with this new mesh system. My internet speed was too slow. So we'll just hang out for a minute and wait for people to be there. Hello, beautiful people. You know, it's weird though, is now my laptop's not working. It's plugged in. Well, it's plugged in. See the lights on? There we go. Okay, I had to do something like this. Well, this was I think this was like try number 6 or try number 7. Uh-oh. It says upcoming. Well, let me refresh the page. Okay, maybe it's going to be working now. We'll see if it's going to stay working. I mean, if it's going to stay connected. It wasn't connecting, or it wouldn't stay connected. It kept dropping. But I think we're okay now. So, all right, well, we'll wait a minute. Probably everybody just figured I gave up and I'm not coming back. And by the way, Top Notch, thank you so much for giving us that super thanks. We didn't get to say thank you earlier because we had so many problems, but it's up and running now. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. We don't know if Top Notch is here or not, but maybe he'll be here. So I'm waiting for a minute till you guys come back. And awesomely enough, Vicky Ganesh is still there on Zoom. Yeah, I was just waiting. I was waiting till everybody got here and then listening. So, anyways, I'm going to give you a preview if it's going to work. We finally got something in the mail and we're happy to share it with you guys. This is the packaging we got today. So, I was waiting, like I said I would, to open this up with you guys. So we are going to show that to you as well. Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and bring in Vicky and see what's going on with Vicky. And by the way, while Vicky's coming in, if you want to join me, all you have to do is in the description below, there is a link. So you can click on the link, or you can just go to Zoom and click join a meeting. And then also below is the room meeting ID and the passcode. So you can join me that way as well. And here comes Vicky. Vicky, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I think we got it up and running finally. I've had some,
Yeah.
I have some, I have, I'm working on a new internet system to get this,
Oh,
my
fine,
internet
fine.
faster, and it actually
Mm,
seemed like
mm,
it made it
mm.
slower in where I'm in my house. So I'm dealing with that. I wish I could,
Oh,
not I wish, but I was jokingly saying it was probably entities or something, but it was just internet speed.
internet. Yeah.
So does it hurt? I really like all your jewelry that you're wearing.
Yeah.
Was it painful
It
to
doesn't
get your
hurt.
nose pierced?
No, it doesn't pain. It's
Really?
not that hard. Yeah,
Mm.
it's not pain.
Now, for people who are seeing you the first time, because there are,
Mm,
I'm sure there are some people that are, it's their first time seeing you. So,
mm.
can you tell them their story about how you have been genetically altered by aliens?
Yeah, I have been genetically altered to be both a female and a male
Mm-hmm.
since 5 years of age, or possibly even prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have something like 44 plus XZ. The Z chromosome is what alien to the planet Earth.
Right.
And this Z chromosome has the capability of being both a female and a male. It's not actually hermaphrodite. It is actually a new type of chromosome which can be both yin and yang, male
Mm-hmm.
and female. And this is what I have been experimenting since the age of my 16 years of age.
Right.
And I have a YouTube channel for this called Wiki Gold Ganesh.
Vicky
I have
Gold
posted a
Ganesh.
very I have posted a very few videos in my YouTube and also in my Instagram, Vicky Ganesh Rani.
Mm-hmm.
So my female name is Rani and male name is Ganesh.
Mm-hmm.
And my regular name is Vicky.
If you don't mind me asking, which
Hmm.
gender do you prefer being?
I being it's totally an alien gender. I prefer to be called alien gender.
Alien gender. Interesting. So, what does
Yeah.
that mean? Does that mean basically a non gender?
No, it means all gender,
All
inclusivity
gender.
of all. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
both female and male, and even something beyond female and male.
Hmm. Interesting. So, you've been this way since the age of 5?
Since the age of 5, but it has been come into process since the age of 16.
Oh, okay. All right.
The initiation happened at the age of 5.
Have you ever had your DNA tested to
No,
confirm this Z strand of DNA?
no,
Z chromosome.
actually, the Z chromosome. Actually, people don't do it. They may think that I am weird and they may not believe. Yeah. So this is totally some beyond this dimension.
Hmm.
So that is why I did not get tested. And I don't think there is any scope for it being tested anytime sooner.
Do you have regular communication with the ETs?
Directly, I have seen them twice.
Hmm.
And also, I have seen them a very few times in my sleep paralysis like state.
What do they look like?
They look like naked humans without any sexual organs, tall, and head with triangular edges.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Give me
And one alien entity appeared like a reptilian only once.
only once.
Yeah.
Are you
After
afraid? Are you afraid of them?
no, I'm not afraid of.
Oh, that's good.
And I feel more afraid of regular humans than the aliens.
You're afraid? Well, yeah, yeah, I can see
Uh,
that.
I,
How does your community react to you?
I don't have any community of XZ.
I mean, you know,
There are trans,
your family
there
and
are trans.
friends.
No, very badly received. They don't understand me at all.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
that's terrible.
mm.
So what
So
you go ahead, I'm
they have
sorry.
separated they have separated me from all the human race. The loneliness and separation and misunderstanding from the other humans. I think those are all the symptoms.
Do you think that that people in your community are avoiding you and ignoring you?
Definitely. I'm being ghosted, I can say.
Wow, that's terrible.
Mm.
Do you know? So, what about when you're day to day? Do you dress like this or do you dress casual?
No, not like this. This is for the programs, for my video shoot and for my programs. I've
Mm-hmm.
posted very few in the YouTube because I have not received a good response. But as it is, I have a huge number of video collection.
What is the, and you're okay, so that's great. They can see you on your YouTube channel. Now, also, you have information that you were a Russian man in your previous life, correct?
Russian boy, actually. My life ended at the age of 13,
And
13 years old.
you were related to the Romanov family?
I was the son of Nicholas II.
Do you
And
have any past life memories of that?
I, I have regressed three of my previous past life memories, and all the three of my past lives are closely interlinking to the present life.
Hmm. Well, I wanted you to let you know that the chat is supporting you, and Vicky says that we are. Please tell Vicky that we are happy to have them back on the show. Welcome back anytime. So, I mean, Julie said that.
Thanks,
So our community welcomes you and is happy to have you here.
thanks a lot.
And
Yeah.
well, there's another one here. Oh, Kimberly, I'm sorry to the guest. I'm glad to see you here. So, Kimberly.
So I'm happy that there is a scope. There is some scope for this Z chromosome in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I wonder if
Mm.
there are other people. Have you looked out on the internet and found that other people also have the Z chromosome?
There is Z chromosome, but it is developing in different ways, in different variation in different people. It's not actually developing in the same module in different definitions. It has different definitions and different frequency and different ways and categories of development.
Interesting.
So this is one, I think. Trying to be both a female and a male is one of the predominant ways.
Let me ask you this. What is in India in general, what do the people there think about UFOs?
I don't have any idea about others, but yeah, people, no, it's not that much popular in India. As soon as I Google about UFO, it only shows about California and the regions covering the Bermuda Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't show the UFO spotting doesn't happen much in India.
All right. What about, metaphysical things, out of body traveling, life after death? Is that something commonly spoke of over there?
Life after death is not spoken, but the concept of hell and heaven is persistent, is
Okay.
prevailed.
1 second. Andy was saying, what chromosome? I can't understand what chromosome he's saying. Andy, I think he's saying that he has the Z chromosome. Typically, X and Y are associated with female and male, but he has an extra chromosome Z that makes him both. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right. So,
And I've been telepathically given this information by the aliens.
right. All right. So you on your channel, some of the content you put up is you with the Romanovs, and some of it is you
Yeah,
in dancing.
yeah. Very few I've posted, but I have collection. I have the mannequin of Tsar Nicholas, around 7 to 8 mannequins of Tsar
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
I've self-created.
Did you do the past life regression there in India?
Yeah, I did it. I did in the year 2019, October 26th.
How did you react when you found out that you were the son of Nicholas?
Actually, I came to know that I was his son in 2019, but it was only last year, 2022 June. I
Mm-hmm.
Googled, I myself wanted to see if that was real. The moment I Googled, I saw my photo. I just Googled the Russian king 1920s, early 1900s, and I
Mm.
saw Tsar Nicholas image and his issue Alexei and the four sisters. These images were exactly matching to the images that I had seen during my regression back in 2019.
Mm.
And slowly I started regaining as I googled more and more images, I started regaining even more memories
Mm.
of my past life.
Can you share one of your memories with Tsar Nicholas?
Actually, the donkey ride. I remember the donkey ride and playing with the disc, the flying disc, the round shape with the
Mhm.
hollow in it. I remember that, and I remember especially playing these games with the boy. I think it could be George Five's son. I think it could be George Five's son. He
Mm.
was a little, and he was actually climbing over the railings to communicate with me. That memory I remember very well. And I remember Tsar Nicholas crying about my impending death several times.
I thought that Nicholas and the entire family was all murdered during the Bolshevik Revolution, like right under the house. They just killed everybody at once, didn't they?
Yeah, they killed. And I did not mention anything about the murder, but I mentioned my death date exactly as July 1918. But I did not mention the date. I mentioned the year of my death and month of my death. And what's interesting is that the family was executed on Wednesday. My birth also happened in this life on Wednesday.
Wow, interesting.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
right, is there
And
anything?
I'm also August born. That
What's your
Alexei
birthday?
is also August, 1st of August.
Oh, we just missed your birthday. Happy belated
Yeah,
birthday.
thank you. And his birthday is on 12th.
Hmm. All right. What are you? Do you want to dance for us today, or do you want to share anything else?
Yeah, so I would like to say that past life has interlinking connection. There is a lot of other interlinking between the other two past lives also, which I had in 1700 and 1800s. I have those details also. This is my just previous past life, being the son of Tsar Nicholas.
Hmm. That's just your. So okay. So yeah, of course, you probably have other past lives.
Uh, Totally, I now have awareness of three of my previous past lives.
Oh, that's awesome.
And those are all interlinking, highly interlinking. And this, especially I was a female during the 1780s in
Hmm.
the Arabian region.
Hmm.
And that
Interesting.
time again, Tsar Nicholas was there in my life as a ship captain during that life. So he
That
actually tried to marry me, but I could not marry him because I had a pregnancy phobia in that lifetime.
fascinating. So then you
And
after that lifetime, then you became his son.
yeah, after that life, I was actually again in India. But during that lifetime, I tried to adopt a Russian boy who was exactly in the image of Alexei.
Hmm.
So one life later, I took the birth as Alexei, exactly in the same image of the Russian boy, which I
Wow.
wanted to adopt. Hmm.
Interesting. I wonder why you have this connection with Russia.
Yeah. So that's how from Arabia to Russia I was because of the desire that I wanted, unfulfilled desire that I couldn't adopt the Russian boy.
So you
I was so
became
fond of
him.
the image of Alexei. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's
Hmm.
amazing.
So I wanted to be mother a boy without having to undergo pregnancy, but I was denied. In none of the lifetime I have kids, and even in the present lifetime
Hmm.
I don't have kids.
Interesting.
And I feel that this activation of the Z chromosome, the whatever the genetic mutation which is undergoing, I feel it's a pre-agreed plan
You
before my birth.
okay, yeah, it's a prenatal contract then, huh?
Yeah. Hmm.
Do you see that
Yes.
do you have any other ideas of other things about your contract besides the Z chromosome?
No, I feel that I do have some unfulfilled business with Tsar Nicholas. That is soul business, I can say. soul contracts with Tsar Nicholas II.
All right. All right, Vicky. Well, listen, I appreciate you sticking by me and hanging out with me until I finally got this working. I appreciate you, and I've got to run to the next guest.
Yeah. Do you want me to dance?
Yeah, if you want to dance, let's do it. Let me get some Let me get some good music.
This time I have bought the wings, hula hoop wings.
Oh, you got. Oh, cool.
This time to create a difference.
That was cool. That was awesome. Vicky, thank you so much. Great job. You're welcome back anytime, okay?
Thank you. I'll share more of my experience and past life memories.
Okay. Thanks, and have a great Sunday over there in India.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All the best.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Vicky Ganesh. Don't report. All right, we get him. Well, it's kind of weird because usually I would say we're getting Stephen early. I mean, late, because if I was started at normal time, it would have been late. But we're starting late, so it's early. I hope I'm making sense about that. Let me turn my camera back on. Anyways. I think I was making sense. Usually Stephen's at the end of the program, and right now this is towards the end of the program. But since I got started so late, it's the beginning of the program. Oh, there's orbs. Orbs.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is that 2001?
Thank you all. Thank you.
Welcome, darling. Welcome.
Man, I thought that.
Stephen, I don't know if you've been with us. This has been this is basically the beginning of the night for me. I couldn't get my system up and running for over an hour.
Wonderful.
I was telling everybody, usually you're at the end of the show, but today you're at the beginning of the show.
That's what I thought was gonna happen, Jeff. I said I gotta get in for this. This is just the very end, but now I can watch the whole show. Yay for me!
Maybe the mind jackers were messing up my show.
Hackers, folks, we have found them. They've taken my mind over. Jeff, we're all getting hoodwinked over here.
I'm gonna give you some music to juggle to, just like I gave Vicky. I wish you could hear it. You're juggling to a beat. Okay, let's do this. There we go. I need something in the background that says, "Go Stephen, go Stephen." Today's Minnie Rapunzel's birthday. Minnie Rapunzel, happy birthday to you. I hope you're having an amazing evening, and thank you for spending your birthday with us. I was going to say, I wonder if you could go faster. Like, how fast can you actually juggle? Can you go like... How fast does it go? Whoa.
Well, I think during the Enlightenment, they reaction speeds.
Uh-huh.
So I'll just up to people and say, "Just throw me a ball," and like at super reaction speed, so I just like grab it, like I catch it like backwards.
Hmm.
I just like to show off my talents, darling.
You are one talented man.
Thank you, thank you. I just wanted to be the most famous person in the world, and I
You,
said, God, if you could just grant me one wish.
you are the most famous juggler on my podcast.
Because I say reality, the most famous juggler we've ever seen.
All right, now
And my jugglers on the show. Number one, folks, number one.
there you are. You're not, today. Your internet is a little
Uh-oh.
glitchy. You're a
We've
little.
lost him.
You need to be back on the golf course. Your internet was faster on the golf course.
Lots of stuff today, Jeff, and I was hitting a very long ball, but it was starting to rain, so I had to get off there. When I hit a ball, I say, nailed it.
Nailed it. So you're going to be here for the whole show tonight?
Watch the whole show.
That's so great.
But remember, my mind has been taken over, so I can't just say whatever I want anymore, darling.
They're just you. So do you actually feel like they're controlling your speech?
Oh, darling. So I say it's no longer just me anymore.
It's you and a few.
It's
a few of your friends.
Mindjackers have joined the chat.
Mindjackers.
They can do whatever they want. They can be your friends. They can be your enemies. They said nobody has a mind like I do. Correct. You get it. You're special. You get it. So because I said I wanted the truth, then they said, well, Jeff, you just can't have truth. You can have your little belief system and you can live in that little world there. But I say, if you want the truth, you're going to have to get mind jacked. And you just won't like that one.
You're going to have, that's a great one. I love that. If you want the truth, you've got to get mind jacked.
Yeah. And I say, like, otherwise, they're just giving you a belief. That's what they're doing. I think the aliens, let me tell you something about those little rascally bastards. I think they're just messing with people out there, but that's just part of the plan.
Jason says the world needs more Stevens.
They need more people like me. That's why I just pray every day that everyone becomes enlightened, and then they can just have God's love.
All right. Well,
we walk around, people, we think we're alone.
Yeah.
There's a great mind. I say the great mind that's right there with us.
Now you're back. Yeah. Well, a lot of people, well, not a lot, but some of my near-death experience, sirs, when they're on the other side, link into the universal consciousness and know everything.
That's right. And
I
we
think
can
that's
never,
the great mind you speak of.
Yeah, they're always one step ahead of us. So we always think, oh, we're getting to the truth or something, but they're just a step ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly what we will believe, what we do believe. I say when you're having a conversation with God, it's like they can let you finish the sentence if they want, or they can just interrupt you. It's
right.
Like the instant you have that thought. I'm sure they've had in near-death experiences. And it's also like they always keep things really simple. They said there's what we want, and they said you're just trying to get what you want. And they said, see, I wasn't doing the things I wanted in life.
Right.
They said, darling, you're not so many things I wanted to do. And they said, we'll try to help you. They said, Craigie, get out there, try to do the best you can. But if you can't do it, man, that's just hold on. You tried your best.
That's the best you can do, I guess, is try, right? And right now you're
man, we get out there, we write some songs, and sometimes they work, man, but sometimes they don't work out. See, that's the thing reality is that they said no one can ever figure it out because we think we're getting the truth, and then it's like you just find out it's another belief system. It's like I thought I had a spirit with me, and I
Mhm.
said, "Well, who's moving my bed?" And they said, "It just happens." All this stuff just happens. Someone's. It feels like a spirit's with me.
Right.
It feels like someone's taking control of my thoughts. Someone, and they say it's just happening.
What do you
But we believe it's God. We believe it's the greater mind. That's my,
You know, I had a guest, I think it was at the beginning of the week, talking about some kind of cosmic AI system taking over the universe. And I've
oh
been
yeah.
speaking to another guy. I think he's in India. I can't get him on the show. I haven't convinced him to come on the
Oh, you
show.
get them
But he also talks us about the same thing, about some kind of cosmic AI that's the new enemy of the universe. Kind of like the Borg in Star Trek, if you know Star Trek. And I
I don't
have
know
a
if AI will
feeling
be
I think that's going to be the next big subject on YouTube is
the
cosmic
AI.
AI. There's like our whole, one of the things that's popular is, we live in a simulation or a matrix, but these people I think are going to take it to the next level and saying that it's not evil beings that's running this matrix, it's some kind of AI.
It could be an AI. We'll never
I,
find out what it is, though, man. It'll be go right through the back through time, man. It's gonna just change everything. You won't even believe it. They might even have an AI juggler, an AI. All right, let's try out. I hope everyone can see that.
All right, I gave you some music again. Oh wow, it looks pretty cool when his internet. He's got orbs around him. It looks really neat when you, Stephen, your internet is frozen, but your orbs are in flight. That looked really neat. You need to go back and watch this. You froze, but your orbs were up in the air.
I will, darling. I'm gonna go right back and watch it.
All right, brother.
Hopefully, it'll be entertaining.
I have to do what I've got to
man.
do. I have to do it. But thank you for joining
You
us.
gotta do what you gotta do, man. God bless everyone.
God bless you, Stephen. We love you. And we care about you. And
love you all, darling. Love you.
We hope you have a great rest
Thank
of your
you.
evening with
I
us.
want care.
All right. There he goes, Stephen. All right. So, I have to kind of restart. It's like I'm restarting the whole night. I feel like I'm restarting the whole night because we got started like over an hour late. So again, if you would like to join, below is the Zoom link. And then I also have the Zoom room. I also have the Zoom. If you just go to join a meeting, and right below is where you click. It gives you the Zoom ID, and I have the passcode. So that's what I'm trying to say. There's two ways to join. There's the link, or you can go to Zoom, click join a meeting, and below is the room ID and passcode. Also below is a link to our Discord. There's over 500 people there. So if you want to hang out with like-minded friends, there's 500 there. You can chat about whatever. There's different rooms. It's like chat rooms, but you can video chat, you can audio chat, you can post whatever. And so what you do is you go to Zoom, and then you get your free profile. And then once you're there, you come back to my video, and in the description is a link to my server, which is basically my chat rooms. And Julie said she joined my channel at the bronze level tonight. Julie, thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate you. We are thankful for you. Thank you so much. So that's below. There's a link to our website, jeffmarapodcast.com. There is a link to our Facebook page, the Jeff Mara Podcast. You can personally friend me on Facebook. I'm accepting as many friends until I hit 5,000, and then it's over. I think they cap you at 5,000. And by the way, my last name is Reynolds, for those of you who don't know. Mara is my beloved wife, and it's together we create this podcast for you. So that's why it's the Jeff Mara Podcast. people get confused. I still see it in the chat from time to time. They say, who is Mara? So that's who Mara is. And actually people do that all the time. You know, our email says Jeff, it has my name and Mara's name in the email. And just the other day when somebody signed me up for something and they just assumed my last name was Mara because it didn't say my name in there. So they were calling, it was under Mr. Mara. Anyways, so that's there. Links to other channels, our cooking channel, which I'm going to start revving up again, our music channel. Eventually I'm going to get that going, and other things as well. So I think that's everything. All right, guys. So we got this in the mail this week, and I'm happy to finally open it with you guys. It is our YouTube play button. So let's take it out and see what's going on. Let's see if we can get a knife here. Maybe my better half can go get some scissors. Okay. So she's going to get me some scissors and we can open this up. We got our trophy. We did it together, all of us. I want my earphones. All right. So let's open this bad boy up. Where did she go? I'm waiting. Mara walked out. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I should have did a drum roll or something today to have some, you know, I'm always having this background music and things. I should have did something. I was thinking also I should have like a birthday thing. Like, it would have been cool to play some kind of birthday to Minnie Rapunzel. So thank you all. And I'm waiting for her to get back. Oh, I got some more tape to cut. Anyways, while I'm waiting for tape. So I'll tell you about this week. I think this week I'm going to be recording with the famous Dannion Brinkley. He's a big time indie-ear. You guys know who he is. And I was contacted this week, and I haven't finally set the date, but I was contacted by the book publisher of the godfather himself of NDEs, Raymond Moody. So Raymond and some other guy wrote a book together, and they reached out to me to have them on the show. So I think that's going to be really cool to get Raymond Moody on here, and hopefully we can get him in this week. All right, guys, Mara is she's doing the honors, and here it is. Oh. All right, you can pull that out. And what does it say here? Recognize your team. That's if I wanted to get another one. I had a team member to give one to. And here is, yes. It's pretty cool. Very cool. And it says, presented to Jeff Mara Podcast for passing 100,000 subscribers, YouTube. So guys, thank you so much for being our subscribers. We really appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we have so much gratitude for you guys coming and watching every day and being a subscriber. So we got one of these finally. It's nice. Now, we actually have, this is our third one. This is our third channel. As I've spoken before, for those of you who probably have heard me, we got really successful in children's channels prior to this. And you can see, which is kind of cool, the difference. Whoa, let me move this coffee cup out of the way. How the YouTube buttons have changed over time. So watch this. So there's this one. See how they used to be? There's so much glare. So this is the way they used to be, like this one. I guess this one over here. Mara's holding the first one. And then this is our second one. And this is our third one. So we need to not, and for those of you that know, we did move into a house finally. And we've got to put up there, and we've got to like figure out, we're still working on our house, but once it's my room, my room is finally finished, I'm going to make like a studio video and show you my studio and, you know, what my life is, you know what I mean? Like what, I think it would be pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe I think you guys might be curious to see where, you know, what I do all day, where I sit. So Tanya likes the third one the best. She likes the new one. And then this one is also from one of our children's channels. Oh, that one. This is actually the new style too. This is our gold one for 1 million subscribers from one of our other ones. So that is the goal for this channel. The next goal is getting a golden play button. So that is what we want to do next. So, but this is for now, and this is, I'm still happy and grateful for this, and thankful. So this is cool, and it's nice. They have these little spots so we can hang it in the back. So so we've got to put this up here somewhere. Ooh. All right. So there we go. All right. So yes, let me look at my schedule. So I was telling you about that. Up, wrong mouse. Oh, darn it. Figures that this is not turned on. Monetization. Okay, so let me see here. I was going to tell you about my schedule. I usually do that quite a bit. All right, so here we go. I don't know what this guy's here for. I didn't put it in my notes. I have a woman named Carrie Kay. She looks really fascinating. I'm going to have on Tuesday. On Wednesday is a NDE. On Thursday is Daniel Brinkley. Then another man named Sperry on Friday I have scheduled, and not Saturday. And then so maybe this week when they get back, maybe I can get Raymond Moody in this week and work him in somehow. See if we can get him here. All right, so Vanessa Vega is here from evolife.com. I actually remembered it this time. Let's bring Vanessa in. And see what's up with Vanessa today. Moody in this week and work him in. Vanessa. Somehow.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so Vanessa Vega is here. We forgot to read this. We'll have to read this next time. I actually remembered it this time. Let's bring Vanessa in.
Hello.
Vanessa, I hear you, but I don't see you.
You hear me, but you don't see me.
That's correct. Yeah,
okay.
Your camera's off.
Okay, let me see if I can join.
And aren't you evolife.com?
Yes.
I even remembered it this time.
EvoLife 360. Let me see. Where are you?
What's going on? Your camera's not turning on.
Let me see. Hold on. No. Okay. Oh God. Start my video. Okay.
There you are.
You see me now?
We see you. Welcome.
No, I can't see you.
Welcome back. You can't see me?
No, I can't, but it's okay.
All right, well, we see you.
Now.
We see you, and that's the most important thing.
Okay, well, thanks.
All right. I like your glasses.
Hello. Oh, thank you. My little one says that I look like that. Let me see, The Incredibles.
The Incredibles? Interesting.
Yeah, you know.
I remember them vaguely. I should know them. I when doing so much toy videos, I should know them. So what do you have to share with us this week, Vanessa?
So I'm glad that you could connect finally.
Finally, wow, we really had to work through it today.
Yes. But everybody was cheering you, so.
Yay.
So, no, I wanted to talk about cattle mutilation.
Oh, cattle mutilation. Wow, that's not something very different from you. That is something way different from you. What do you think about? Okay, what do you think about cattle mutilations?
Been receiving a lot of information about that,
You've been
right?
getting downloads about it?
Yes.
Really? What have they been telling you?
Well, basically, I know I spoke about this once with you about the consciousness being brought into the body, the human body,
Mm-hmm.
in the blood plasma. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you think that we connect consciously with bodies through blood plasma?
Yeah, it is. Plasma in the blood is the source of life. It is
Really?
the ignitor. Yes.
You don't think that we connect through the pineal gland?
Well, that
I'm
is
not
one.
saying you're wrong. I'm just curious.
No,
I'm probing your
it-
mind.
it's the ignition, the thing, the energy that ignites the pineal gland and makes everything work, brings life,
Mm-hmm.
is the plasma in the blood. You see, the
Mm.
blood plasma is 92% water.
Right?
Okay. So if we're thinking in terms of electromagnetism, right, that everything is made like that,
Mm-hmm.
it is the thing. We need water as a conduit to connect all those vibrations with it is the connection with the exterior. It is running throughout our whole body.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the pineal gland that works together hand in hand with that.
Mm.
Okay, but if we wouldn't have blood plasma, that wouldn't be possible. You see, because in the blood plasma we have gamma rays, we have gamma globulin.
Yeah.
And that is even in the Bible. This is something that is in the Bible. It says that life in flesh is in the blood of man.
Interesting.
Yes, that I believe it's Luke 17. Perhaps the guys in the chat can.
Maybe someone can
look
sort.
up.
Maybe
Luke-
some. Yeah. Well, if you're in the chat, see if you can source that for us. Luke
Yeah.
what? Luke 17.
Yeah, Luke 17. Let me see. Luke 17:11, something like that. I can't recall right now, but I know it's 17 or is it 11:17, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it says like that the flesh is the life is in the blood, and it is where consciousness enters the body.
Mm-hmm.
We use the pineal gland as a transmitter to, when it is ignited, we receive through it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Then
Well,
I was receiving that the cattle, right?
okay.
The cattle's DNA is very alike to the human DNA. It is 80% alike the human DNA.
Now from what I know, those cattle are mutilated with precision cuts,
Exactly.
like
And-
laser cuts.
Yes.
So
and
why is this happening?
Well, what I get from it is because of this. You see, aliens and well, energy is the source. What can I say? It is so important to human life and to everything. It is the most. It's like talking diamonds, right? The most precious thing that we have is energy.
Mm-hmm.
And aliens have advanced enough in their enlightenment, right? That they know this is a precious thing. And right now there's people here that are studying how to even generate with our own bodies, generate electricity
Mm-hmm.
and energy, because it is a resource that we have it's free. Like I've said before, it's free. It's the most abundant one because it is everywhere. Everything is made out of it.
Mhm.
So, and if you see, it is very common to see aliens landing, for example, in places that are rich in minerals, and where there's a lot of vibrational, high vibrational frequencies because of the mineral content there is, and just like that, that's why they tend to visit most places like this, like for example, Arizona, we're rich in minerals, right? They see certain places. If you see where there are more sightings, right? You're gonna see a correlation between like Egypt, right, and the pyramids and all this, which pyramids were, it's known now that they were power plants.
Mhm.
So energy is always involved between aliens and humans, okay? It is a point of interest even for humans,
Right.
because
Right.
fuels, right, the fossil fuels and everything.
Right.
So the plasma in the blood is rich, the plasma is rich in gamma rays and rich in minerals also.
So are you saying then that the ETs are just harvesting the blood of the cows?
Yes.
And okay. Hey, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying what I heard is right. One theory I've heard recently or saw on TV or saw somewhere is that they are doing the cattle mutilations near nuclear missile bases, so they can hint to the people in the military that they're against nuclear war, obviously, so they're kind of hinting, hey, you don't, you better shut this down or whatever. But the mutilations are happening near those facilities. Like I said, I don't know if who's right or who's wrong. I'm just giving you
No.
that's what I either saw it or something, heard it on a video or something recently.
They are definitely trying to help us. They're not trying to do this I don't see it as a mean way of, I think they are doing this to give us another alternatives to harvesting energy. Perhaps teaching us, right? Guiding us to knowing that this is a resource that we can acquire. There's no need to go to the levels of nuclear that we've gone to, right? To auto destruct ourselves or anything like that. To be able to recycle or use our own resources, because everything is made out of it, truly.
Right.
And but yes, it can be that they're sending us a message, right? I suspect, my theory and what I receive a lot is about there being, they're doing this because of this plasma in the blood and their interest of perhaps, harvesting it for future.
Well, somebody in the chat said AMS Dave, and maybe he has a good point, that are they taking organs as well or just the blood?
Yeah, some organs are taken. Some organs are taken from the cattle. Yeah, but here in Puerto Rico, for example, there's the chupacabra. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we have that here in Texas, the chupacabra. That's like the goat. That translates to like the goat sucker or something.
Okay, yeah,
It's
exactly.
like a part goat, part something.
Exactly, but
Beast.
yeah, that's what they say, right? But they've also tied it with aliens, and mostly happens here with chickens, because chickens are also I think it's 65% their DNA, like ours.
Hmm.
So if
I
you
think
see it,
all animals on Earth are pretty close in DNA.
well, actually not.
It's not. I thought I saw something that we're all pretty close, but maybe not.
No, not all. Most of them are like primates,
Hmm.
right? That's the highest one,
Right.
and the cows, and then the cows, and we have the mice.
I thought actually the pigs were pretty close to humans because that's why they want to interchange. I think they use like pig valves for heart valves.
Well, it's mice
Mice.
are 85%, I believe, and then you have the cat more than the dogs.
Oh.
The cat
Hmm.
more than the dogs.
Hmm.
And this is our like top 10 that I can, yeah, they are in the top 10. But it is very, very, so if you see, that's why we study mice, like in,
Mhm.
when we on pharmaceuticals and all that, and they do studies in mice and all that, mice.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So yeah. eh, So this is what I am very, I think it's because of energy and the plasma in the blood. I definitely feel it very strong.
Well, that you have a great theory, and I never heard of that before about that our souls connect to our bodies through the plasma. Well,
Yeah,
that's pretty
actually,
cool. Thank you for sharing that.
yes, our soul connects. That is the life source of the body.
Hmm.
The plasma in the blood. That this is why also you are born in water, as I've said before.
Mm-hmm.
We are born. Actually, did you know that when fertilization, and you can check out on this because it's quite interesting and you can see it, there's videos. When the ovule is fertilized with the sperm, it lightens up the ovule, sparks.
Wow, that would be cool. It's like life is happening.
Exactly, the spark of life.
Wow, it's
And
amazing.
yeah, and it is in the cord that us mothers, right? We have plasma, we have that plasma, and we share that plasma with our babies, right? And then the amniotic fluid is a shedding of the plasma of the mother through the embryonic wall to the baby, so that the amniotic fluid, that it's not a coincidence that we have to be there 10 months, 40 weeks, because we need the water to be ignited with life, for life to be passed on to us. This is the reason why. And actually, when the ovule starts to, the phase where the ovule starts to divide in many cells, into many cells, it's called a blastocyst. So everything goes back to energy, everything goes back to light. This is
Right.
what we are. This is what we truly are. And it is in the nucleus of the atom also, as I believe I spoke about it last week.
Yes,
And
yeah.
in the protons and the photons, yes, of light.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this is why.
yes. Vanessa, I need to run, but thank you so much for coming and sharing. It was cool talking about cattle mutilations with you. I finally got your website and your YouTube channel right. Evo Life.
360, yeah.
Evo Life 360. If you want to see Vanessa's YouTube channel, you can go to her website. I guess it's evolife360.com.
Not open yet. No, not the. I am only in Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, and then also, and I think it's 476 that
75.
Oh, 475. Okay, I was one number off. That
Yeah.
Vanessa and I did a video together. So if you want to find out more about Vanessa, there's lots of content out there.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Thank you.
Vanessa, thank you so much. We really appreciate you and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Jeff. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And a big round of applause to Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, I didn't get to read this with you guys. So this also came with my silver play button. Get this here. I guess it's backwards. It is backwards. I have mine set up backwards. But it says, do you remember your first subscriber? No, I don't remember my first subscriber for this channel. I wish I did. Your 100th? No. Or your 1000th? No. Chances are you do. I don't. And we'll definitely remember your 100,000 subscriber. I don't know that one either. So that's, I'm missing on all of those. Your fans may have found you while searching YouTube, learned about you through a friend, or maybe you showed up as a recommended video. No matter how they came to your channel, your audience stayed and their numbers increased because of you and the community you have built. So that is so true. We have an amazing community. And you guys are honestly the best audience. I mean, I think the guests are so, the guests are blown away on how great you guys are, because there's so much, you know, a lot of you guys visit the guests and I think the guests are surprised, if not even shocked, how much traffic they get after being on the program. We're proud to honor you impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the Silver Creator Award. Congratulations. We know that you have many more stories to share with your community. That's right. We have many more NDEs out there and other stories. Those are the guest stories. And we know your fans can't wait for you to amaze them with even more of your commitment and creativity. So keep creating, keep building. We can't wait to see what you'll do next. And we're here to support you along the way. And who knows, when you reach your millionth subscriber, we may just write to you and ask, do you remember your 100,000th? Yours sincerely, Neil Mohan, YouTube CEO. So he's the new CEO. I'd forgotten that the other woman, the original woman, stepped down, and he's the new guy. I forgot her name. The old there was a CEO. What was her name? She was CEO of YouTube for I guess maybe the whole time, or for a long time. This woman was, and I forgot her name. And she finally stepped down. Someone else took over. So anyways, that's pretty cool. That is very cool. All right, so I told you about that. I told you that who's coming up. Daniel Brinkley, hopefully Raymond Moody will be here this week. Some other guests coming in. RJ Spina I have him scheduled for next week. And I have a woman named Sonia coming in a couple weeks from now. So I need to get back into, you know, it's weird. I don't know about weird, but I'll get a bunch of guests scheduled for like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And then I'll just kind of like, maybe I'm not staying active. And then all of a sudden I start going through the guests day by day by day, and then all of a sudden I'm like, uh-oh, I don't have any guests. I got to find guests again. So I got to kind of go out and find guests, and probably half the guests I find and half the guests they find me. So let me ask my wife something real quick. All right, so I mentioned last week, and my wife, I don't know if you guys see it, but my wife definitely sees it as the editor. That, you know, we've been moving over the past few weeks. Our house has still got boxes, and it's like another job. So I'm here working hard, and then I'm working hard, and it's so hot here. It's just unbearable hot here in Texas. I mean, it's like every day is 104. So it's like it's obvious for my wife that I'm editing for her, that I look exhausted in the videos. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but she can tell by my eyes that I look tired. And you know, it's hard to say what, you know, even though you're tired, you just keep going. There's no stopping, right? So you just have to keep going. keep going, and you work through it, you grind through it, and you keep going, and maybe you just get stronger and stronger. So I think my muscles are getting stronger because I've been lifting so many heavy boxes for such a long time. But yeah, 104, and it's just brutal outside because there's like the garage is full of boxes, and then you're in and out, bringing stuff in, bringing out, and you don't want to go outside, too hot, too hot. So, and she says, I see your exhaustion as well. Just keep swimming. Desk fan. I actually have a fan up here, and I don't think you guys can really hear it. When I was editing that video today from last week, if many of you saw that from last week with Mrs. Lopez, her story was amazing, and I decided to post it today because you just only get about 7,000 views, and with 100,000 subscribers, 7,000 is not a lot, right? So I have to go back. Yeah, or you want to put it there? So I figured a lot of people haven't seen that video, and it was such a great video that I wanted people to see it, so I posted it again. All right, so there's 220 of you here. I'm not sure why. I hope you guys can keep you, if the people who want to get in can get in. I hope we're not having problems again. We had problems a couple weeks ago. And while we're waiting for the next guest, if you like, feel free to ask me questions. That's the only thing I know next to do until I wait to our next person gets here. Jeff, you should get Mary Ann Winkowski on the show. She's got a YouTube on Wednesday morning. Mary Ann Winkowski. Maybe I'll look into her. I got to remember her. Maybe you can send me a message to remind me. I'm sure there are a ton of amazing YouTubers out there, and I don't know them all, obviously. Susan Coleman is saying Zoom is not letting her on. Okay. See, I have a bad feeling. Hopefully that's not a problem today. I don't know. Let me see. Who was the one that said that? Susan Coleman. Susan, if you're there, there's two ways to try. The link is there, or you can try to just directly join a meeting. Oh, there's Michael. So Michael made it. And if you want it, probably Michael will be ready to analyze your dreams for you. So while we're waiting for him to get on, you can get your dreams ready. Michael.
Good evening.
Good evening. Did you have any trouble?
Good evening, everybody.
Did you have any trouble getting on?
No, I never have any trouble.
Okay. Someone else was saying they were having trouble. And so
I told you, I don't know what difference it makes. By the way, first of all, congratulations. Much blessing.
Thank you very much.
We are all really, stirred up. So just saying really quickly, right, that what we are experiencing, what you are platforming and highlighting is glorious and transformative, and actually plays a role in this whole transformation. Like that dream you had where you were on the island and everything, the ocean was rising around you.
Yeah.
And it is scary and challenging, but at the same time, it is really wonderful at times like this.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Well, I mentioned there while you were getting on that you might be willing to detect people's dreams for them if they want to, if they want to go ahead and put them in the chat. I don't know. I was just assuming that you would be willing to do that. I wasn't really sure if you were. If you're willing to do that or not. I just made that assumption.
I think, Jeff, that I always feel now like when if we end up doing this on Saturday night, I'm always going to be open for that. It's like part of it. Usually what I do is I think about some stuff, and I was thinking about a few things of, that I might want to communicate. Like this week, I had posted and talked about what happens if we assume meaning? Like think about it like a thought experiment. Like we're teaching little kids, right? Really quick. So we're teaching little kids about their dreams. And we tell them two different things. In one case, we tell them, hey, your dream, you know that really weird thing that was in your mind? It means nothing. It's just gibberish. Right? You could see like, ah, you could see how they would feel.
Yeah,
right?
you have a
You
great
could see
point.
that they might begin to think maybe life is also meaningless, or it
Right.
just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Now imagine in this thought experiment wonderfully what happens when you begin to tell those kids, which is the truth, that their dreams are 100% full of meaning. Personal messages, amazing, spoken in a symbolic language of your imagination. What's going to happen? They're going to start getting more interested in their own imagination,
Right.
in the mysteries of their own mind. So anyway, yeah. So that's just a thought on that.
That would be amazing to see how a child would grow up if they were taught that as a child, that, yeah, well, your dreams mean something and they're messages for you, personal message, and you know, and if you were taught that as a child through your entire life,
And
no telling how much a person could get from their dreams.
This, there are people who learn this at a high level. Like they'll do it in movies. It's cinematic language, right? So it's learning this. But what's different about and wonderful, and why I bring up kids, is because what dream interpretation has taught me is that within every single human being, this potentiality, this dream mind it exists. And because it exists, it implies that we are types of geniuses, right? No matter what you're seeing on the outside, we can understand these symbols and be like, and we're dreaming in them. You know, it's a wonderful mystery. I've been studying, trying to learn more and more, you know, getting deeper.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we have any comments here for you so far. Let me kind of scroll back through here. I have recurrent dreams that I'm somewhere away from home and I need to use the restroom, but the public restroom I go to either doesn't have a privacy door or just a chair without a hole to go in. So unable to use the restroom is the overlying theme. Unable to relieve themselves is my guess.
Yeah, that's a very classic dream. What was the very beginning of it, you said?
I have recurrent dreams that I'm somewhere away from home and I need to use. So when they're away from home, they don't feel relieved.
Yeah. So this is very, very classic. Okay. So let's address here. I like when people bring up the fact that it's recurrent. Let's deal with this at a very commonsensical level. If I keep repeating something to you, what does that mean? Right? Yeah. If I keep over and over, I keep telling you something,
it's not getting resolved.
I want you to know it.
Yeah.
All right. So just so you know, Salud, this is what is going on when people have recurrent dreams, which is happening more and more. But it is another part of you, your spirit, as it were, counseling you and again repeating this particular message. Now, I talked to somebody recently, not that long ago, which I mentioned, who was trying to get back home. And I said to this person, just instinctively, but with the basic symbology, I said, oh, well, that would typically mean a home. Homes in dreams mean your soul. So I said, so that would mean that you're trying to get back to your soul. And there was all these distractions. As soon as I said that, she started crying. Right?
Wow.
So here, certainly what is going on here in this dream is this person feels alienated from themselves. Right? And yet, as they feel alienated from themselves, this is like very interpretable. They are having the feeling that this sense of alienation is not satisfactory for their life, right? Like if that's making sense, because there was this, yeah.
All right, so they're not okay. Interesting. Let's go to another one. Okay, a lot of people are in the chat. It's going by quickly. I was flying over children in a hospital. Children were in hospital, question mark.
So there's two main ideas here. So first of all, the idea of children, which is can mean a child often in a dream. It also can mean like the inner child. The
Mhm.
hospital is always a place where healing occurs. So if someone is going to a hospital, for example, they're going to a place for healing, though typically rather than it being physically, almost always in dreams, it's emotionally.
Mm.
So when you go to a hospital in dreams, you're usually going for emotional healing. So
Emotional
this would
healing.
sort of imply again that that there's a child, or or the inner child is getting healed.
For a while, I kept dreaming that I was going to Europe and maybe even the same place. And I dreamed it so much that one day I woke up and I was surprised that I was like, oh, I actually haven't been there. I've keep dreaming it. I've dreamt, you know what I mean? Like I dreamt it so much I thought I'd actually been there, which I hadn't. I don't know if that was even like past life memories, but it was real time kind of. So it wasn't really in the past, but it was like that was kind of confusing for me. Does that make any sense to you?
So I think one of the things I've been trying to figure out is when I say that there are two types of dreams, and I say the majority of them are symbolic correspondence. That is to say, our emotions are expressing themselves in this symbolic form, in this ingenious symbolic form. And then there's these other experiences. So example, for what you just alluded to or asked about, and it would be similar to like when a person dreams of someone who just passed away, right? It's almost more like a visitation. But I will tell you, in my experience, and it's getting to be a lot now, there are a lot of people who, when they see a basic dream of basic symbolic correspondence, they start bringing in a lot of other ideas. Like, oh, it means this, it means this. In my understanding and my method of investigation, I always go to what the correspondence are, because once I point it out, the person can see it. They don't need to believe like, oh, it means Kundalini or this or that, right? So again, for me, that's a very clear way to root what I am saying. That's one of the things I'm very grateful about of this, that you can teach this to people. You can hand it to them and go, do you see that now? How amazed would mean being confused about direction? And they go, oh, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Here's one, and this actually happens to me too. So, Julie says this. Very often I see people who I've never met in my dreams. Are these people in parallel lives?
So I don't know, again, I don't know anything about it I don't know anything about it in that sense. Like I can't verify. But what I get from it as language is, in dreams, we associate with people and identify on the basis of their energy, because once we are on the other side, that's how we work. We know each other by energy, right? So even if, like, for example, when I'm in my dreams, I see Jesus, I never see his face, right? So this person not knowing this person is you can take that symbolically. This can, for example, mean I have an interest to connect with someone who has that mindset. Hopefully that's not too confusing.
Okay. This one says, I dreamt the other night that I was asked to take over for Queen Elizabeth instead of Charles. I was like, oh, okay.
So here, and again, what I'm saying is we can do this with every single dream. So what is the language there? I'm taking over the responsibilities of Queen Elizabeth. That means I'm taking over some sort of position which has a lot of responsibilities. Mm-hmm. The implication here, if we started talking to the dreamer, is that role was associated with a man in some way, but ended up being filled by a woman. Like that's the
interesting
implications there.
I'm in this station of sorts. I'm put into a capsule that shoots me into space. Just before I took off, my uncle that recently passed salutes me, steps back after took off. I woke up moments later.
So, okay, I don't know about putting it together, but the pieces are, when you're in the person said they're in like a stadium, like a sports stadium kind of thing. So that would imply that the person feels they're in a state where they're competing, right? If you saw a person in the stadium, you'd be like, what does that mean? Competing. Now, there's this shift from this earthly competing with their mindset being on the earth to suddenly being attracted to something that is above, because then they said they get sucked up like to a ship or something like that, right? But they end up going upward. So that going upward is a movement. This is where I would say it's spiritual, but again, still clear in its correspondence of them moving their mindset from earthly things that competing to heavenly or things above.
All right. Let's see.
You'll notice that there's a little bit of repeat patterns. Like Angela Loggins had a dream just like that, where she was looking up and there was other people and the people around her were getting nervous. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
No, it's okay. No, you're fine. I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat here and seeing what else that I can find as far as dreams.
I'm probably going to have to go back and listen to that first one. The first one was like, now I'm still thinking about it.
There's a lot of other stuff going on in the chat. The chat was going by quickly, but there's other conversations going by. Zombie dreams. Someone mentioned something about John, but that's all I have. I don't have enough to probably give you enough there.
So I'll say really quick, because that is super fascinating. In my book, Dream Detective,
yes,
the last dream, I put 7 dreams in there, and the last dream is called the Zombie Clinic.
Okay.
Right? And in this dream, I showed up in this clinic, and I went down the hall. This nurse was coming to meet me, who turned out to be intuition. And then down the other hallway were coming these zombies, and one of them was a zombie me. Right? And he was like reaching out for me. And then I started running, and all the zombies, I took the nurse's hand, and then we closed our eyes, which, how deep is that as a symbol for intuition? And then we started running down the hallway, and all these zombies were chasing us. And so it's a very profound symbol. If anybody has the wonderful pleasure of dreaming about zombies, we can really understand this very clearly. Zombies are a grotesque, this force, right? Pervasive, that is like ever reaching for us, trying to destroy us. It is a symbol of death. That's what zombies are. The living power of death, which is always trying to do what? Not trying to get other death, but trying to take the living as to itself. Right? That's the symbol. It's always trying to infect the living. So when we feel that, we can feel that typically as death, or as any feeling associated with, for example, if we go to a job that makes us feel dead inside, we could have a zombie dream about that. Right. So it's both a literal sense where people are fearful of death, and it's also turned out wonderfully metaphorical. It's good stuff.
Wow. Well, Michael, I need to run. I got someone finally coming in, other people. Thank you for coming and sharing with us and deciphering and detecting the dreams with us. If you want to find out more, so did you totally brand yourself as thedreamdetective.com now?
Yeah.
The Dream Detective, and your YouTube channel is also The Dream Detective, right?
Yeah, and I'm doing I do a lot of posting, like I said, on I do some posting here and a lot of posting on IG. But yeah, and I'm working on a new book, which is going to be really good, about sex and romance, love and sex dreams. But yeah, thank you, Jeff, for sharing this time, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. Have a great, wonderful night to you too. Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for the Dream Detective. And we've got Melissa here. We'll bring Melissa in. Alrighty, so we know then that it's working. We're getting people in. And see. Melissa's. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back. And
Hi.
were you surprised to see I posted that video today?
Oh my God. I was like, I was I was so like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah, it was an amazing. Your experience was an amazing one. So today was the perfect day to excuse me, to post it up. So
That was a shocker.
yeah.
I'm still like, oh my God. Like,
Have people been reaching out to you?
yeah, so I have a couple people. Well, I have a few, but I have one that's actually local.
Yeah.
I won't say, who they are, but they're actually very, very local.
Wow.
And I seen it and I was like, oh my God, like she's local.
She found it through the video? She found
Yes.
it? That's amazing that somebody local found you that just happened to see the video.
Yeah, and she has Chris's book.
Oh, she does? Wow.
Yeah.
UFO God. Now, one thing I need to clarify, because your name here says Melissa, and then you said and then you said your Facebook was Lopez Marie. But I gotta assume you're Marie Lopez, right?
Yeah, I am. So Melissa is my first name. My family, when I was very young, called me Missy or Misa. I still, because that is my first name. My middle name is Marie, and then Lopez. But I've always so my Facebook was made by my younger sister Ashley, which is she made that many years ago. And I've never changed it.
And it's Lopez Marie then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I figured that was probably something like that, but I just went with it,
No, yeah. So I seen someone in your comment and they was like, Melissa's her first name. And in my mind, I'm like, yep, it is.
Well, that's amazing. I have such an amazing audience that comes every day and comes every Saturday. So probably the majority of the people were here with you last Saturday. But if you weren't there and you want to be inspired by an amazing story of healing, you need to go back and watch that video.
Yeah, so there's a few things I really wanted to touch back on that I didn't say.
Okay, yeah.
And I also want to just kind of tell your family, our family here on Jeff Marr podcast, like a couple things. Well, first of all, my nerves were through the roof. Honestly, I know I probably. So my sister was watching. I know. So I told my sister. So I told my younger sister, and I say that because I lost two sisters a few years ago at this months apart, and she's the youngest now. So I'm like, Ashley, I'm getting the courage. I talk about you all the time, and I'm like, Ashley, I have the courage tonight to go on Jeff's podcast. And she's like, oh my God, send me the link. And then I'm like, I'm waiting. And she's like, okay, well, what do I do? And then I'm like, you just have to wait and join. And for me, it was like, I don't know, it was just everything for me because she's my younger sister, and that was that was a lot for me. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. But the second thing I wanted to say is, I know maybe you guys couldn't see my fears or my everything.
No, you seem like it wasn't noticeable to me, and I've done 800 interviews. Over
That's
800.
insane, because she was like, Melissa, you did amazing. Oh my gosh. She was like, I can see your nervousness, but I don't think nobody else can. And I was like, really? You don't think so? And I can see it. I think that's like a personal thing.
Sure.
Because I've seen me everywhere. And also the second thing is what I really want to tell everyone is I have a lot of physical brain brain trauma, physical trauma that I had some time ago, and it doesn't show often at all the time, but sometimes I do get scatterbrained, and or forgetful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually a real thing in my life a lot.
Mm.
I know. And that, I didn't say that because I was and I'm still so pumped and excited to like just be right here with you guys
Oh,
and you, Jeff,
thank you.
and your wife behind the scenes. Like, I'm so pumped. But there's so many things I want to talk about and I know that I don't have much time,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a couple things I want to talk about that when we were talking the last week that I didn't touch bases on.
All right. Well, what is it? Tell us.
Okay, so let's start there. So there was the experience of my first experience that happened with me being taken and healed.
Mm-hmm.
And then brought back to my body, and the vibrations were very heavy, and I was very sick. I didn't tell you guys about the next night where it's gonna sound crazy, but they came. I was sleeping the next evening, and they came, and I can feel them back here. It felt like So I had a C-section with my son because
Mhm.
he was up here under my boobs, transverse,
Right.
and they didn't know that. But I remember having a C-section down there. I can remember that feeling, even though I was, like numbed, but I can hear and still feel the little pizza cutter, basically, of the vibration cutting me open. And that's what it felt like. Like that, that vibration was on the back of my neck,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, stop it. Out of my sleep. They were already there. And I was like, stop it. Like, stop. What are you doing? And then I got scared, and I felt scared. This was the very next night. I just wanted to share that a part of that story because it's very important. But I was so like out of my mind of like being so excited of telling everything. You can't get everything in. For me, I couldn't. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I seen a comment about, I wonder if she was checked. And I'm thinking,
Yeah. Alien
oh my God,
implants.
was I checked?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. Do you think you have an implant somewhere?
I don't know any now. I don't know. But it reminded me of, oh my God, the next night, like, and then Melissa, you didn't even bring that up because I was, I felt like this, I don't want to say sore, like the electric store, but
Mhm.
that's what it felt like. It did. You can, I felt it going right down my neck,
Mm-hmm.
like right before where the back of my shoulder starts. And at first I was like, stop, stop. And then I got so scared, I woke myself up, but it took it. I had to force myself to wake up because I don't want to say they didn't allow me, but they didn't until they were finished closing me up because I felt like and then they allowed me to open my eyes.
It's too bad you didn't, it's in the back of your neck. You don't have eyes on the back of your head, but I wonder if you had any markings or anything back there.
So I wonder. So
that was the very next night after you were healed?
The very next night after I was healed from which I know people was like, was she healed or not? Yes, I was healed. I don't know how.
Did you ever go to the hospital or the doctor and then were they like, hey, how did the tumor disappear? Were they freaking out?
No, I never went back because I didn't have insurance after that. I
Oh,
only
wow.
knew because of them before,
Mm-hmm.
and I suffered. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I was like, I suffered because I didn't know anymore much other than that.
Mm.
And it was my husband's insurance cut off.
Right.
We didn't have anything else.
Right.
So
That sucks.
that was all we had.
Yeah. You got to check this out. Tomorrow night, and I'm kind of, but it's similar to yours, and I'm kind of promoting tomorrow night's show. I'm having this woman that I'm posting that's had ET contact through since she was 5 years old. And she talks about this, that when she was like 18, she was spending the night at her boyfriend's house, and she woke up and knew that they were doing something to her, kind of like you to the back of your neck, but they were doing something to her stomach, like some kind of beings were doing some kind of surgery on her stomach. Her boyfriend also woke up and witnessed it, and it totally screwed him up witnessing it. It freaked him out so bad. He has been in a mental institution for the rest of his life.
Oh no.
After witnessing it, it freaked him out, and he never got over it. Can you imagine? That
Yeah.
But she, over time, she understood, I think in the beginning, and I think other people would say this, your first reaction with aliens is of fear, and because you just have so much fear. But after time and having more experience and more experience, they become positive. And it's almost a happy thing when you're together with them. And that's where she's at now. But
oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought I just dropped you.
So I wonder if over time, if you have more contact, do you view, I would assume you kind of view it as a positive thing, don't you?
So I've had other experiences.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm back tonight. Early, even before those, the ones that I've already shared. So about.
Uh-oh. I lost your video. You're here. I just lost your video.
How did I?
Now you're almost back. There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We see you. Everything.
Okay. So you had asked me, I think the last question before the closing was, well, if you
have another experience, come back.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe that, you've had another experience this week.
Right. No, but I've had so many, and honestly I have emailed you,
mm-hmm.
which is fine. And
I don't know if you saw, did I get your email?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. And you was just to share it on the lives.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes
and maybe I wasn't descriptive,
right.
I don't know, because I was very brief.
Right. Yeah. Maybe I get emails from people, and it's just and then, maybe whatever you said, it would have been for a full hour, but maybe whatever you wrote, it just didn't.
It was so brief. Because I was so nervous and excited. I didn't know what to say.
Because people email me and ask to be on the show, and I feel bad that I have to sometimes say, well, I'm not really sure if this is going to work for a full hour. Why don't you come on Saturday night? And I know some people maybe even get upset, but I have such a dedicated people that come, and so I feel responsible to make sure that, it's going to be a guest that everybody really wants to see. But I never know. I never know. Sometimes I have a guest and sometimes people get upset still anyways.
Yeah.
People complain that, why did you bring this guest or whatever? But, you can only, you just bring guests on.
You don't know.
You never know how the audience is going to react to a guest.
Yeah, that's so true.
But you ended up being almost like a full hour anyways.
I didn't know that until I read the comments. I'm like, I was up there that long, and It was. So I was like, oh my God,
Mhm.
like that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole experience was amazing. The feedback was amazing, no
Mhm.
matter what. But
Mhm.
I really want to, I don't want to keep, because I know this is a live. I'm not trying to, keep anyone, but I do want to kind of share
Mm-hmm.
um, a couple other things, a couple of other experiences I've experienced. And the one I'm going to start with, it's very brief, but it's important to me. I
Okay.
don't, and I don't know why it happened in this mannerism. I'm sure everyone's going to speculate, but I
Right.
don't know why. But
Mhm.
this is what happened. So many years ago, I don't. When I say many, I want to say maybe like 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was, I had, I just forgave someone. I know that sounds like, well, people forgive someone every day. That doesn't make sense. But this is what happened that day or that evening. And I was like, you know what? Let me just, I'm done. Let me go to sleep. And I laid down. And I know some people may not believe this, but it's so very much true. With all my heart, my eyes were shut. And I feel two, so my eyes are shut and then they open. And now I'm going up into the sky. There's somebody pulling me under this arm, and there's someone pulling me under this arm. But they're so huge. When I say huge, and I am 5'11", almost 6 feet. They, I am a peanut compared to how tall each energy was on both sides. I don't know. At first, well, I didn't know what was going on, but my thought was, well, guys, what are we doing? And we just was like gone. We were just going, and we were gone. And I entered this room, maybe it is, and I hear a language, but they're so tall, and I'm not talking about 15 feet. They're taller than that. Both of them, they're speaking, and then a gentleman walks in, and I only know him as Jesus Christ. And in my, original interview or live with you, I had mentioned him, or rather my religion. And I think a couple people thought like I wasn't into it because those were the chosen words I used because I was so nervous, but it wasn't that. Like I love God, and I was so, and then then I hated God. Then I was angry at God. Then I was sad with him because it took my parents, like as a child, for so long. Like, but either way, it didn't matter because I knew he exists, and I knew that Jesus exists. And I just kind of went through that kind of battle. And just to clarify that, like, that's what that was. But this was, again, like 9 years ago, and I am 40. And they're having a discussion above my head, but way up there. But I can hear them like if they're talking, like if they're like only this tall and they're talking to each other, but they're way taller, and they're in discussion. And then somebody in like he has a sword in his hand, and he has the hair of that I remember or have seen
Mm-hmm.
in the art, except his hair is very wool, and he has all this hair,
Mm-hmm.
and the hair on his head is very like wool or thick, and his eyes, for me, and I'm gonna be honest, were black,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't just black. The blackness in his eyes actually told me something. His eyes were communicating to me that he was so mad at me.
Hmm.
And I've never shared this or said this with no one, actually.
That
And
sounds
this
to me kind of like Archangel Michael. But why
no,
would it wasn't him? Why was this being mad at you?
because right?
I guess
So
because you weren't
because
forgiving or something?
no, because I forgave. That has been something nope, because I forgave a very serious situation that happened. And you know, forgiveness is one of the, and I remember being in a conversation and having to make, I'm talking about in the physical world, like, let's say me and my sister's here and like, and we talk it through and we're like, well, what are you going to do, Mies? Like, are you going to forget, you know? And I had to make a decision to either forgive or let go
Mhm.
of that person in my life. And I forgave. And I felt really good of forgiving again. Not that I felt good at that second. So I'm not going to say that because that was afterwards, but I forgave. That was my decision. I, I, I forgave. I forgave that person.
I can't see what's wrong
And
with forgiving. I think that would be a good thing.
right. And oh my God. That's actually what made me struggle for so long. I'll never forget his eyes. I'll never forget the disappointment. I was sugarcoating, you know, a lot of things the last time because, you know, even when I was speaking about my blue sister that I found, because I invited my younger sister, which, you know, me and her are the only ones living, and she is my pearl in a box. Ashley, I love you. But the sisterhood between me and her was so much stronger than I can ever feel or hear on earth. But to get back to that, it was like that I don't know, that disappointment or that anger that I kind of seen on him, it confused me.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
actually angered me. I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong?
Yeah, that is strange.
I'm supposed right. And then the next night, um, I'm having a conversation. No, I'm sorry. I was actually reading a trilogy, which is a 3-book. I was just finishing up my trilogy with my nephew at that time. He was like 20 at that time, and we used to like ping pong books back and forth, or you know, or just things that readings to just kind of indulge with each other, which I love. And I just finished and I was like, yes, I won in my mind. So anyway, I go to sleep, or I don't go to sleep. I close the book and I sit it beside me and I put my head in the pillow. And again, I'm pulled, not, or yeah, I'm pulled. And older, this male is, he's Star Wars, but I grew up watching Star Wars like in my group home when I was a kid after my parents died, but not as much as people would maybe think.
Okay.
Like, I don't know who this, I had to, for some reason, I literally had a couple people, when I described them, they was like, oh my God, you got to watch, you know, Star Wars or something. And we did. And he reminds me of, and I'm going to mess his name all up, but that little dark skin figure. Oh God.
You mean like a Jawa?
No, he's like the council. Oh God.
On the council? You're still here with us, by the way, so don't worry. We see you and hear you.
Okay, I don't know what in the world is. Oh my God, this.
Uh-oh. Now we lost you. Are you totally gone? Oh, she's totally gone. All right. So, anyways, tomorrow night I'm gonna have that video for you guys. The woman who's had ET contact her whole life, she still has contact. We see pictures of UFOs and orbs. She's got videos of UFO and orbs that we look at. And she has counts of missing time. And again, that story was amazing. I mean, that is one of the most, in a terrible story in a way, but wow, her boyfriend witnessed aliens working on her, and he got so mentally disturbed that he wound up in a mental institution and has never got out. And I think he still, maybe he just went to the wrong place because no one believes him, because he still says today that he saw aliens working on her, and she says, yeah, they were like doing something to her stomach or something. So, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. This woman has not been on, I think she's only been on one podcast before. And very, very fascinating woman from England. So I hope you guys will enjoy that tomorrow night. And I'm not sure if she's going to get back. She may not be getting back. Anyways, yes. Marie, it is actually pretty, if you don't get back within the next minute or two, I'm just going to be going. And we started really late today, and it's been a delayed show today. Basically, I put it that way. And so, I just want to thank you guys all again for watching, for being such a dedicated and audience that comes day after day and watches, comes every Saturday and watches. And well, she's back. And I want you to know how much we really appreciate you.
Hello.
All right, you're back.
Oh my God. And I'm on a different phone. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hi. Okay. So that was my son. Well, one of his devices, because this is my phone, but it was dead. And it has like 40%. So maybe we can like kind of get through it now.
All right.
I forgot where I left off, Jeff.
You were trading books back and forth, you and your nephew.
Yeah. Yep. And I thought I could have dozed off. I'm not gonna say that I didn't, but that's not what I thought afterwards. I felt like someone just pulled me into my sleep, because when I opened my eyes, I don't remember closing them. And I know that people may be skeptical and be like, well, maybe you fell out. And that's true, you're right. But I don't think so, because I was still shocked, even because, you know why? Because many years, even then when it happened, I thought to myself, I wasn't asleep. Like, I wasn't sleeping. This, like, oh my God, am I going crazy? And I thought that then. So anyway, I was in this other place, and this person, or this energy, he was dark, not dark, but like brown skin, but his skin was very thick, very, very thick. It reminded me of like Star Wars. I don't know what that little thingy is. I'm sorry. And please, I'm not being disrespectful to no one. I don't know what his name is, but he's like the
maybe somebody in the chat will know, because I'm not really sure.
I'm sure he will. Oh my God. Yodel.
Oh, you mean Yoda? Oh, okay, yeah, the little Jedi Master, Yoda, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 800 years old.
So his texture on his skin reminded me of the texture on this older man, except the eyes that he had was my father's.
Wow.
And I don't know nobody in my father's family. I never did
Hmm.
actually growing up at all. When my dad passed, he passed first, and I was the last one to walk out the hospital room because he had surgery, and um, we had went to visit him a couple of times. But this was the last time I went to visit him. Everyone left, and I kind of walked out and stepped back in. This is, I'm being so honest. And when I stepped back in the room, the look in his eyes was fear. I
Hmm.
didn't know that that was fear, but we just connected, and the look in his eyes was fear. Um, I didn't know that,
Hmm.
and I'll never forget that look. And
Wow.
and that and I say that because that's actually what kind of like zoomed me in to this old man, which is very much shorter than my dad,
Hmm.
100%. But his eyes, the contact I had with him was, and my dad had raccoon eyes. We all have the raccoon eyes, deep thingy here. We all I have 7 sisters. We all have it, but it wasn't that. It was the look that he gave me, and he said, "What are you doing?" That's what he said. He said, "What are you doing?"
Hmm. Wow.
And I gasped, and I was just like I don't know, because I couldn't see me. I can sense me. I don't know if I lifted my hand and was like, I don't know any of that, but I remember I can hear my gasp
Hmm.
when he said it,
Hmm.
and I can see him. I can paint that picture if I was an artist, and I'm not, but I can paint him if I would, and if I could paint him. There's actually a painting of this old man, and y- people can call me bogus or whatever, but I'm not the breed of like coming up with anything like crazy.
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on coming up in my neighborhood right now. Oh my god. Oh my, I'm sorry. They have
I don't
sorry,
know.
this 4-wheeler is like coming up like
Oh, that's okay.
um,
Marie,
another.
I'm gonna have to get running for it. I'm gonna have to kind of tie this up because I need to get going myself.
Yeah, no, of course, of course, of course. Okay, so I'm gonna just tie this up and just kind of just I guess this one can be actually faster. Or if you don't mind, just
Hmm.
really quickly.
Hmm.
So one time I was meditating, and I sat and I was talking, I was in my mind as you would, and I was laying in my bed, and I was just like, well, I would like to meet God, because that's where I think I need to start to heal. And I can physically feel several hands all over my legs, both of them. And these were little people. And when they touched me, I froze up. And when I froze up, they calmed me. And then I had a shield. I remember that word in my mind at that time, like it was a shield, like a purplish white light over me. I don't know what it was, but I remember going up, and I'll never forget that, because I was very much in tune and trying to be in tune, or not in tune. I was trying to be, and I
Hmm.
was always reaching out to the universe.
Hmm.
And then I saw me. Yep. I saw me, not someone else. I saw a very younger version of me, and she grabbed my hand and she smiled just like me. I know it sounds crazy, and I know people are like, well, that's your higher self.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because she didn't speak to me at all. I even said, who are you? She just smiled at me, and she was me. And she rushed me back to where I was going through I guess, like, I was trying to make myself go and have an out-of-body experience or a meditation where I was. And at the time, my husband was way on the other side of the bed playing a game on his phone. And this is so true because she put me back in my body. I can feel her laying me in there. And then I felt in her my heartbeat. And as soon as I sat up and jumped up, like, oh my God, she let go of my hand.
Oh, that's amazing.
Not before. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, Marie. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry, but thanks for having me on.
You don't have to say that. Thank you for coming and sharing with us, and you can come back next week and share some more if you like.
Yeah, I would love to. I will. I would love to.
All right. Well, I'll see you next week then. I'm gonna let you go, and then we'll see you next week. Thank you again so much for sharing.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Mara.
All right. Thank you. We love you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right. So big round of applause for Marie. And again, guys, thank you all so much for being with us and coming and listening and watching. We really appreciate you guys. So that's it for this week. So we hope you have a great rest of your weekend. We love you guys. God bless you, and good night.